Hello, my name is Christopher Monegro. I am a director, editor, actor, spray paint artist, and photographer. I do a lot of things. I primarily make films. I have won awards for those films, but I wasn't always doing that. Back then, I was a wee little lad just making videos on his crappy Android phone, trying to have fun with the little that he had. But how did I get from that to where I am now? Let's talk about it. Back when I was 11 or so, I made my first YouTube channel. I would make gaming videos and little short series. Kind of the same thing that I do now, except better quality, and I'm older, I guess. That was pretty much how I spent a majority of my time when I was younger. Just making videos, being a YouTuber, and creating stories in my little house. And over time, the quality did get better on that channel, but eventually when I did start to enter high school after quarantine, I unfortunately deleted the channel. It was kind of embarrassing for me to know that people would now have access to old videos of myself that I was not confident in myself for people to see, and then continue to go on making videos that would eventually become a higher quality, but I wasn't ready for people to be seeing that. But then I made a new one, this one. It was supposed to be a complete rebrand of my channel, but when I started off, I didn't have exactly a clear direction for my videos. I was still recording my stuff on my phone, which I've changed to a better quality camera now, but at first, it was really just me doing comedy sketches and nothing really more than that. Going into high school, my school had a film program, so going into my now film class and the class that I would be in for the next 3 years, it was definitely a unreal experience, especially considering the fact that I haven't been in contact with anyone for the last year and a half due to quarantine, so I was socially awkward. I didn't have many friends in there, but over time I did end up getting some close friends and some partners, like in my company that I've made with those friends in that film class in Sunnyside Studios. But months go by in that little film class, but eventually I get offered the role as the main character in Ryan Ferrero's short horror film After Hours. It was technically my first acting role in that class, let alone my filmography. It was kind of a lot of pressure for me, considering I've only ever been making videos by myself because that was what was easy to me, and working with other people was never really in my mind because I always wanted to just have fun with my stuff, and working with other people, especially when I was younger, was just too complicated, and I didn't know how to properly communicate what I wanted for my films. So being in this new environment with all these new people, and also me not directing it or being in control of it, it was definitely an experience that I appreciate and really enjoyed. Production started for that film. We took about 2 to 3 weeks, I believe, if I remember correctly, to film the project, and eventually we finished and we submitted it to the Greenfield Youth Film Festival in 2022, winning first place narrative. It was the first film that I've ever officially been a part of, and the first award for a project that I've ever been in. Continuing on from there, I was strictly in an acting role in that class, I guess. I hadn't really made anything up to that point until the next year, 2023, where I was offered the main role again in a short horror film called Drain, directed by Divine Favor Ochiaga and Charlie Washington. And also myself. I co-directed the film. As time went on in the production, they offered me the chance to help them direct the film, along with acting in it and helping out whichever way I could. So that was my first acting role. and eventually we submitted it to the same film festival going on that year, Greenfield, winning the Best Comedy Award. Again, I didn't really make much after that. I made the first episode of Bloodlust, but I never continued the series after that due to how long it took, and also writer's block. If you don't know what that is and you want to learn more about that, I made a video that will be over here, wherever it was, you can check that out. But only until the end of 2023 was when I actually made and directed my own film, School Bathroom, which if you want to learn and watch, there will be cards up here again for you to watch if you're interested in those. It was my first directorial piece by myself. As I stated before, I only ever acted in these little films that we were making at the time, and only partially directed in the most recent film before School Bathroom. So it was definitely a big responsibility for me to be filming this stuff on my own, but I pushed through the struggle and I got the film done, and I am so proud of how that film turned out. Moving on to January through March of this year, 2024. But this year, our film teacher wasn't able to help us how he usually would in the years prior. So this time, I was pretty much on my own making my new short horror film, Closing Shift. It was definitely a struggle to get it done, probably the hardest film production I've ever had to work on. But overall, it was a very memorable experience. I really liked it. I really liked how the film turned out. And I want my films in the future to be at that level of quality going forward. But that is something that I continue to work on and pray that I never have to deal with or struggle with again. I already explained this in a previous video, but Closing Shift did not win for the Greenfield Youth Film Festival. It was actually School Bathroom, but it was still a good piece none regardless, because I won the award for Best Director of 2024, and I got a trophy and a chair that I have chilling in my room over there actually. Skip ahead the next 2 months and I submitted Closing Shift to the PA Media and Design Competition 2024 over in Westchester, PA, and I win first place digital media, which is the first for my school period, and I guess my state as well, since that's never happened apparently. So big things going on, or were going on at that time a couple months back. So yeah, over the years I went from a naive kid not really knowing what he was doing making videos to a naive actor acting in things and not really realizing how big it would be for me in the long run, to an aspiring indie film director trying to make films and show his craft. And I hope that in the near future you see something from me even bigger than what I just talked about.